I'm gonna hit this. I'm gonna hit this recording. And I'm also doing it for the ones that are not being able to see this, so they can see your skill sets and what you provide. So that we can bring you into this Discord. I know that we need you, and I know that you're always willing to help others.
That's fair, and I appreciate that. I'm a person of a Q&A. I like questions and I ask and I answer them. I answer them also from a humanistic perspective, but I also answer them from a psychological perspective. I like to blend psychology with the way humans really live the world, how they see the world through their lenses. One of the things I've learned working with Moody is his desire to help other people to have a more successful life, rather it's through finances, rather it's through mental health, or rather it's even spiritual. I think each of you, including myself, can learn a lot from Moody because I had, as a clinician, to actually make myself be better in what I do because he is a challenge. But it's a healthy challenge. It's not a bad challenge, which as a clinician, if you have a client that's just constantly being safe, it doesn't allow you to grow. So that's what I can say I like the most about him. He tries me and allows me to grow. I like our relationship. I like his honesty. And most of all, I just like him for who he is. He's a great guy. He brings a lot to offer, not only knowing his ups and downs, but a space that he's in right now where he feels really solid and it seems very solid and it looks very solid, but the reality it is solid. If you have an opportunity to continue to learn from him, be mindful that you are learning from somebody who not only has pounded the pavement, did the late night hours, but continues to want to continue to be in that same space for not only others, but also for himself and his family. So you guys have a great person right here. He's willing to actually share his person with you guys, which is me, which also says a lot about him that he wants more for other people. So I know from my perspective, there's lots of reasons why I know I can be here. Um, there's lots of reasons why I know Kelvin may want me to be here. But before I actually get into what I actually wanted to start with, I just want like each person that's on this call to give me a little introduction about yourself and where you currently see yourself with your finances right now.
And if you want to unmute yourself, you can. If you want to just drop something in the chat, you can. And it doesn't have to be anything long. It could be just one sentence. She's a pro
I,
at this.
I will prefer you unmute yourself and talk because I am a talker and I want to directly address you. So if you guys are okay with that, I appreciate it.
All right, I'll
Oh,
go first. My name's Bree. I've known Kelvin for a long time. We went to school together. I would turn my camera on, but I literally just had surgery on Tuesday. And so I'm just kind of laying around recovering. But as far as like me and my finances, um, I, I've made, I definitely have made some strides in the direction that I want to go, but I can still see like that scarcity mindset of like greed or like, oh my God, it's not going to be enough. Like that fear, it still lingers, even though like I'm really trying to move in a whole different direction. You know, it's some things like that I need to address with that.
okay. Thank you, Bree. I appreciate that. And that is definitely something I am going to address the fear around financial growth and helping you understand your psychology aspect around that, why you may have that fear. So I think that is going to be one of the greatest things for me to actually educate each person at in this platform. Because fear, again, as we understand as psychologists, is it's not only a learned behavior, but it's also a continual emotional behavior because fear is an emotion. So I'm excited to meet you, Bree, and I'm excited to give you knowledge so that you can overcome and you can grow in your financial abilities.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well.
Thank you.
I can go next. Hi everyone. Just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Shout out to Moody for sharing all his knowledge and wisdom. My name is Memo. I've known Moody for about 2 years now. He's helped me in more ways than he can imagine, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Um, the whole aspect about money, I currently have taken a lot of risk, and sometimes I feel like within that risk that I've taken, I don't see a sense of light at the end of the tunnel, but day in, day out, I get reminded of the amazing things that I have accomplished, and that at the end of the day, it's okay to take risk and not be scared of what the end goal is going to be, because eventually it will arise for everyone. But just want to say thank you. And it's a pleasure to meet everybody.
Same here. I'm just gonna say one thing I actually hear you saying is similar to Bree, is that fear factor. What does that mean? So I would definitely want to address with the group as a whole is understanding your relationship with money, and which then will help you actually understand your success with money, because those are actually three different things. If I'm fearful, I won't understand my relationship with money because that relationship will be based on fear or lack of satisfaction, which then will hinder your financial success.
Thank you.
How you doing, Doctor? My name is Wayne Ali. I've been working with Moody for almost about a year now. Um, I guess there's always some kind of fear there. Sometimes I feel like I take a step forward and take two back, but I mean, I can't blame nobody else but myself. I'm just getting better as time goes and just progressing every day. Pleasure to meet you.
Same here. I definitely hear from you, self-sabotage.
Yeah, I won't even deny it.
Getting in your own way. So we could definitely understand, again, when we are not comfortable, and I don't use the word secure as much because we all have insecurities, even I, when it comes to financial decisions. But it's about understanding how much we are actually getting in our way compared to us not having the knowledge. So I would definitely love to cover self-sabotaging when it comes to financial success.
Can I go?
No, you can't go. Yeah, you can go. Go ahead, Moody. Moody wants to go. Go ahead, Moody.
All right. I know when I first started, one thing that I know I faced a lot was not knowing if I would be able to grasp this. I remember, I'm a little embarrassed, but I remember getting my wife to start like reading the charts and you sitting me down and like, Moody, that's called fear. You want accountability. You want to go to somebody and make sure, hey, this person knows that. So what I would say is, I'm not it's not a challenge for me anymore. However, I know I would like you to speak on how was you able to know that this success would happen for me, as well as you told me about one day I would get up and I would see this snowball effect. And I wouldn't even notice the amount of money that I was making until I saw that snowball effect. And and when it happened, I know I spoke to you about it. I was extremely happy. However, just wanting to gain that understanding on how was you able to just see that from like the first time you walking into your office.
That's a good question. One thing about clinical psychology, to become a doctor, we have to understand human behavior and human thought process. What makes me, I believe, be able to look at a person and hear their words, I pay attention to their body language. And knowing that your growth that you wanted to have was necessary not only for your family, but you as an individual, but you were also fearful of your growth. So when we start talking about snowballing, it's similar to Mr. Ali. We start to self-sabotage and we don't see our accomplishments. We can't handle our accomplishment. And I think it was the second gentleman as well. I think he was titled iPad. The same thing, not being able to embrace your efforts and see that you're actually doing it. And sometimes, yes, I force people to look at the person in the mirror and letting them see what I see. Because you have the ability and the skills, but sometimes they can just seem so far away because you're in your own process of trying to build and trying to create, that things don't seem tangible or anything that you can hold on to. And it will create a snowball avenue negatively. But if we can take that and put into a positive aspect, if you get up in the morning, you're on when stock opens, you're watching the digits, you're looking at the numbers, you're taking your time and looking at the ups and downs and knowing I'm not going to be attached. If I lost 100 today, I'm not going to chase that 100 tomorrow, but I'm going to be in the now. You'll start seeing, I really didn't lose 100. I really gained 200, which then now the snowballing effect becomes positive because then now you can start seeing your reward on what you're putting into place.
Yeah. I'll take that. You have one, Levin Bang Bang said, knowing and learning from Moody has been amazing and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Here lately, I thought I was making great progress, but past few weeks feels like I've lost, I'm lost and definitely in my head and wonder, do I got this? Sorry at the VA center and it's loud here.
Okay. Got it. Got it. No problem. I really believe thus far, everyone that listens to you, understanding financial success, what it looks like, and understanding the curve of the navigating you guys are actually in. It's different than going to a job like every day. You can kind of just wake up and know what to expect on that day. But when you're in a trade world, you can't control what is going to happen in the next millisecond, much less control what's going to happen in the next minute. But what gives you control is patience. Being patient and staying true to your craft will allow you to continue to see the gains. I hope that answers your question, the one that's in the VA center.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that real quick. I always like to engage on the classes where exactly what she's saying goes with for the ones that were able, whether you're in a coaching program or in full access, was able to see me fund a 300K account, right? With seeing that I funded the 300K account, now you're also able to see from today, I'm up 20,000 on it, right? So September is one of the worst months ever, right? So I already know to get in the market and get out the market, right? September is not a month where I'm looking to day trade too long or that I'm looking to even swing trade just because I understand the market dynamics. However, it's not about me. It's just that I have the understanding of the market dynamics is more so of the patience of, hey, today may not bring me what I'm looking. Maybe I want to make $2,500 or I want to make $3,500 today. That's what I want, but maybe the circumstances are not there for me. And if I focus, this is one thing I learned about in therapy. If I focus on that, then I'm gonna miss the rest of my blessings where maybe I was supposed to pour into my wife or pour into my child, or maybe I was supposed to go into this endeavor and meet this new person to be able to collaborate and do more things in life. So that's where patience comes into play. Patience doesn't mean that you're just sitting and waiting. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you, Moody, because it is a true understanding that patience does look different for each person. And patience is the greatest lesson. Because if you can't be patient with yourself, there's no way you're going to be patient in trading. It's just not going to be feasible. Because patience may endure you to be still for a moment and, yes, step away from what you just invested in and pour interest into something different. But also being patient that you can come back to your craft and learn what was a valuable lesson I learned by just stepping away and being patient in this moment. And that's also going to help with you not being fearful, also going to help with you to not self-sabotage, it's also going to help with you continue to meet the meters that you want, because your expectation won't be so large that it won't feel like you're being financially successful. Because financially successful, yes, we all want lots of money. Who doesn't? But the avenue, one thing, like I work with so many different clients at different financial tier levels. And the greatest thing I hear across the board is once I make that first million, I'm gonna try to figure out how to make two. Then I'm gonna try to figure out how to make three. Then I'm gonna try to figure out how to make four. But what are you actually chasing? And that's the question everyone has to ask yourself. What am I actually chasing? I'm from the top, New York, New Jersey, and we always say when you paper chase, you never stop chasing. It becomes a part of your dynamic. And we as humans are what we call repetitive people. We like to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And as to where it becomes, once a conscious practice, it becomes an unconscious practice. So when we start to condition the brain, that's when all the other negative fear factors come in. I'm not good enough. I suck. I should have did this. Then you start getting all these I statements. And then those I statements become so real. And once they become real, there goes your cognitive ability to even do your craft. Then there goes your emotional ability to be stable, because now you start feeling like all of those I statements. So yes, being patient is important, because patience will make you chase. Patience will allow you to be in the now. And like Kelvin talked about, that snowball effect, you'll sit still and you'll analyze and look at it. Oh, I did this here. I did that here. I did that here. Oh, look at my reward. So you won't look for the validation to come, because you'll have your own validation.
Yeah, and I'll add something because I know that this will help everybody. So even when I tell you guys to drop your profits, I'm gonna tell you in my way what I used to do. I look at everything, whether I made profits or I didn't make profits. Now in time is a little different. However, back then I wanted to look, I always love to look at my losses. I'm not gonna lie, because it's gonna make you better. But I'm not gonna be that person that you hear that on social media or on a book. No, bro. I like to look at my wins more than anything. Why? Because I want to know, what did I do to win? You know what I'm saying? Because if I can continue to repeat that, I'm gonna continue to win, right? So I would do that when, all right, let me see. This is when I started to notice stuff, and I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. It's stuff that, and it's just my therapist is here, so it's like making me open up about certain things. Back in 2021, I remember it was before my birthday, because in July, nobody could tell me anything about trading. I'm a modest person. I just knew I had it. However, it was before my birthday. I started to record, not physically, I was already doing that, but I was recording all my wins. However, I just wouldn't lie to myself. So one thing that I noticed, I can't sit here and tell you how many trades it was, but I noticed all my wins and I seen a probability out of there. And the probability was, oh my God, I didn't know why I won this trade. I know why I win trades. I took this 2-1-2, or I did this with multiple time frame analysis. I was able to see multiple times that I took a trade and I didn't know why I took that trade. That's what I wanted to know about myself. Why? Because I wanted to know, how did I perform when I was scared, but I was willing to take the risk? Because that's what I read in all the books, that they're willing to take the risk and you cannot be mad whether you win or lose. And then when I started to read that in those books, I started to understand one thing: holy snap, they don't know the outcome. They're just taking the risk. Like, you're thinking when you're reading these books that this person just knew to take that calculated risk. No, that's later in life. After he done been through so many mistakes, now he can take that calculated risk because he can apply his experiences to certain things. And you can do that beforehand as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I did for myself. And once I seen that, that's when I wasn't scared anymore. that if I took a loss, I take another trade. Why? Because you're gonna take your setups, but the one thing that you're gonna do, you're gonna get FOMO in this. And I'm just an honest person where I FOMO into trades and I lose, and I FOMO into trades and I win, right? I just, she's my therapist. I can't sit here and lie to her. You know what I mean? I want to get better at minimizing certain things. However, I also know that that's an edge that I have as well, because that's a live thing happening in the moment. The most important thing about these candlesticks, it's not about seeing how they look right now. It was important is the movement, how they're moving before when they open and they close. That's what tells you everything. If you're looking at it from when it closes and you just see what the bar does, you're gonna have a difficult time, because anyone, a 2-year-old, can be like, oh, this happened because that happened. And your brain will see that and be like, you know what? I can agree with that. I see that. That makes sense. Right. But I'm going to pass it back because I don't want to be long winded and I want her to give her skills. But yeah, I just wanted to add that.
No, I appreciate it because, again, you're speaking from an uncomfortable place that you were one part of the time in your life, becoming a new trader. And again, you hear me use the word know your craft. And you can't actually master anything if you don't allow yourself to look at how you got to that result. Rather, it was a negative result or a positive result. But again, I'll circle back and understand this. If your mental and emotional state is not in a safe space, it will influence your trading decision making process to be negative. If it is in a positive space, it will influence your trading decision making process to be positive. You
Look, I'm
won't
not
be
going to get
able,
emotional. I'm
oh,
sorry. You just hit it home real quick. I'm not going to get emotional. However, please listen to her. She helped me not let my imagination die. And that's why I'm where I'm at. Because what she just said is you utilizing your imagination. If you're in a negative state or anything negative is going on in your life, whatever you choose to do from that point forward, if you don't have a strong mind, you will manifest negative things. You will see the wrong things about that. You will not see nothing good in it. And that's why I see a lot of positivity, because she's helped me with that, where it's like, just imagine the best, Moody. It's what you imagine that cultivates everything. So I'm sorry, it hit home.
it's fair. It's because I do know when I do coaching with other clients and with Moody, it is helping you see. Like I like to tell my clients to say, wouldn't it be nice if, and just fill in the if. Wouldn't it be nice if I wasn't fearful today? Because if I wasn't fearful today, I could trade with a risk taking mind state and be okay, rather I win or lose. Wouldn't it be nice that I didn't feel like I wasn't going to be successful at this trade? So today I'm going to decide to trade and watch my ticks and learn from that, rather I win or lose. Because we do have to understand in the market, it is a gamble. And that gamble can become an addiction.
Can you say that again, Doc? Can you please tell them what trading is? Because people don't know that because they don't understand the word probability. But
Oh.
I'm gonna let a professional say it.
How many people, and you can guys put this in the chat thing, how many people actually know I know the card games spades? How many people know the card game spades?
I do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you know the card game phase, or put a me in the chat.
Okay. So what's the highest card in the game of spades?
The Joker.
Right.
It depends on if you playing Joker, Joker,
Joker,
Deuce,
Joker,
Deuce, or
Deuce.
Ace High. What we
Exactly.
doing?
Exactly. So you right, Bree. You're 100% correct. She had the right answer, right? I saw a couple come through, right? It all depends. What's the narrative of the game? Who is in control of making the rules for the game? Now, if the dealer, which we can look at as the market, is saying Big Joker is going to win the hand, what are we going to do if you ain't got one? What we gonna do? Y'all could reply, y'all could talk, whatever. What you gonna do if you ain't got a big joker in your hand and that is supposed to win the game?
I'm gonna try to figure out. I'm gonna read the room. I'm gonna read the cards. I'm gonna see if my partner got one. You feel me? I'm trying to. We up there. You know, try to see how many books they got. You feel me?
So right, right. We're gonna try to read the room. We're gonna try to figure out what my partner is doing. We're gonna use all of our analytical decision making process to do what? To win the game without that big joker. But somebody gonna have that big joker in their hand. We just don't know who. So what I'm saying is that you're taking a risk without knowing if you're gonna win or lose. And so you strategically put your pairs together. You strategically said, we bid in this, we bid in that. You did that. The outcome all depends on your strategy. Because only because the person got the big joker don't mean that team is going to win, because that may be the only card that person has. But they're willing to still take the risk because they think they gonna win. But that other person don't know because they ain't got it in their hands. So when we start looking at getting in the market, it is a gamble. Because you don't know if you're going to win or lose. So that's when I start talking about the mental and emotional state of the individual before they decide to make that gambling process come alive, has to be in a safe space. So they know their decision-making process will not crumble, rather they win or lose. It won't change you.
That's right.
Taking ownership of saying, I'm going to take this gamble, which I know a lot of you are doing. You're willing to take the gamble. You're putting in the strategic steps to learn the room, to learn what needs to happen so that the end goal can be a win. But you don't know what the dealer is going to deal.
And then I would like to add, and you'll see my growth now, Doc. Because this has nothing to do with what you gave me, has nothing to do with trading, and I applied it into trading. And then you're gonna let me know if if I'm tripping, because you be like you Moody. Don't even go there. So one thing that you helped me with my wife was not to look at my wife like the enemy. You was like, Moody, that person is for you. So anything that's said and you get agitated, it's you. It's not her. It's you. You have to figure it out. You're looking at that person as an enemy. So if you open yourself up and look at it as, no, this person is willing to help me, you'll see it a little bit differently. So I took that and I applied it to the market, where I was like, the market is not my enemy. These market makers are not my enemy. If anything, they want me to make money and they want me to be successful, but this is a rigged game and I have to find my edge to it. And what is my edge? Discipline. Patience and discipline is my biggest edge. It's not the art side, it's not any of that. I am willing, the first thing I'm willing is to take the risk. I'm willing to win big and I'm willing to lose big. I am okay with it, right? I'm not going to attach it. If I take a loss, I'll take another trade, right? Doesn't mean that I'm going to revenge trade right after it. No, I'm going to look for my setup and I'm going to take an accurate trade. I'm not just going to lose and be like, well, there's a probability. I'm just going to take another one. No, I'm going to lose even more.
So Moody,
Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
Doc.
hop in on you real quick because that's something I definitely want to talk about. You use the word revenge trade. I am gonna ask across the board, how many people have found themselves revenge trading?
Drop a one in the chat. And before she answers this, can y'all please bug her? I promise you, you're not bugging her. Her son is a full-time trader. That's why I go to her specifically for this. Sorry to throw your business out there, Doc.
No. I'm good. You know I'm good. I'm just reading the numbers. That's all. I'm
Man,
like,
if you
oh,
good, let me
cool.
know if you at the lake house. Let them see the. Nah.
No, I'm in Loganville today. Yeah, so I see the numbers coming in. This platform is so new for me. I don't use Zoom for my personal work, so I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I'm just seeing things coming through. Yes, my son is a trader. He's been doing it for a very long time. I've actually psychologically helped my own son understand his relationship with, I like to say, money in general. We do understand money moves us and money changes our perspective. And so when Calvin mentioned, and I've seen this with my own kid, you start with $100 and sleepless nights, falling asleep with his book on his chest, up early, market clues, still watching something different, reading this book, all these graphs, like these graphs I see behind Moody, I've seen them. So I'm not foreign to this, but it's just something I know is not for me. And I'm honest because I love what I do on the other side of it. I love to help people in a different way. But I understand the aspect how I can be beneficial is helping. If I was able to do it with my own son and able to do it with other, like I said, I have clients at different tier levels of finances, understand their relationship with money. That helps you understand how you can be financially successful. So, like I said earlier, getting out of your own way. We can envision lots of things, which is always beneficial, but how do we achieve that vision and not seeing other people as an enemy and not, again, being afraid that I made a mistake today? Not being afraid to say, you know what? Yeah, I missed that tick. I didn't read the chart right. But not allowing that to make you create a behavior to where the next day you anxious, you're like, yeah, I'm ready. You're having all these conversations about how this market is about to go because you're trying to recover from yesterday. Think about the psychological warfare you go through each time that happens. The thing your body says, the thing your mind is saying, and in how you may talk to the ones that are around you that are fighting for you, that are cheering for you. But think about ultimately in those moments how you are treating yourself. I know the thought may be like, oh, it's easy to say this, easy to say that, because your life, all of our lives is operated by money. Nobody's life is different. We live in a country where money matters. But the problem is about money matters, but it should not be our God. And that's where we fall victim to all of these things I'm hearing today, because your relationship with money is complex and challenged, which then the domino effect or the snowball effect, it changes the way you see yourself, the way you see others around you, the way you interact with others around you. Calvin could be given the baddest explanation on how to be better, and you won't hear it because you're not present. you're physically there, but your psyche is somewhere else. I get it. We all have families. And yes, I am a victim of this, and I will not lie. My son, it don't take all of that. Why are you up so late? Why you did it? It don't take all of that. But then I had to self-reflect and say, you know what? When you started your own practice, it didn't take all of that. But that's just taking ownership and understanding that I can be mindful of how when I chased money, my son is doing the same. But why am I going to criticize him when I did the same? Again, that was my relationship with money because I felt financially successful. He didn't. Even though the end goal was both of us to be financially successful. So that's why I say we got to understand our relationship with money because that will impact your decision-making process to be financially successful. You get to define it. I do give out homework, y'all. So you are going to have homework.
I got a question before we
up.
keep going.
Yes.
Drop a fire in the chat and drop a fire in the all access chat if you want me to bring her into the Discord. Please understand that she's expensive. That's why I'm asking y'all, because if y'all do not let me know, I'm not just going to, you don't want to know what I'm paying for 1 hour for her to just come talk to you guys. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna downplay herself, but she's a celebrity. I don't want to say just life coach. She's a celebrity therapist. I say life coach as well because people will take therapy. And do you hear her talking about anything but money right now? I'm trying to make you successful. You just haven't asked her a question like, hey, how can you change my mindset? Her question is gonna be like, how do you think? Let me ask you a couple of questions. What do you think about this? Take this survey real quick. Yeah, we need some work on your mind. That's what she did with me. You know, I didn't know that I was thinking irrational and that I was acting abnormal. You know what I'm saying? I knew certain things about me. However, she made me love my wife more. I'm like, what the heck? I know I love myself, but I'm not loving myself that much. She's able to look at me and say, hey, Kelvin, what have you done for yourself? And I'll be like, man, I helped this person. Kelvin, that's not something for yourself. What have you done for yourself? And she's the one that'll make me realize, Kelvin, I'm sick and tired of you telling me that you help someone and it's bringing you happiness. Let me just say everybody in this freaking world die. Where's your happiness going to come from now? And I'm like, dang, you're right. It's not about helping people. It's about how much you help yourself, how much you love yourself so that you can be able to pour that into the next individual, right? So I see a whole bunch of fire emojis. I'm gonna check the all access here in a few. I'm feeling like, I'm gonna talk to Doc and see if I could bring her in. However, she's to be honest with you guys, she's just very anal. And when I say that, it's like,
wait, Calvin, don't do that because you're gonna try to scare the people away now.
no, I'm not. It's just
I'm just kidding.
She's
He's being
real. It's
truthful.
like her plan is to come in 2 times out of the week through in a month period and keep going 2 times out of the week. Why? Because I understand what she told me. Kelvin, if I'm on them, I can help change their mindset quicker. They have to be able to see me on a weekly basis to be able to, anchor to the positivity, or they can lose that, because you can ask her, maybe I don't go to a session for like 3 months because I'm not anchoring to it. Now I'm asking her to revamp my mind and take me here. And she's like, well, Moody, we need about like 3 sessions. I don't know what's been going on in your life. And that's what I want you to know, where it's like she can help you change and view the world differently, where you will literally see it, but you got to be willing. You have to be willing to want it for yourself. I promise you that. But yeah, I'm gonna hand it back to Doc.
I'm like, hey, no. It's the reality is, and everything, and I will say to you guys that I'm saying today is not only something it's not textbook only, right? I have over 20 years experience in the psychology avenue, but it's also personal experience that I apply theory to when it even comes to my personal life. Not only do I believe I help myself be successful, but I've also helped, as I said, I have other financial clients. Like one of my clients today, for example, he's a chiropractor, Black chiropractor out of Chicago. I help him run 3 offices. And this is why I can say, I don't care how much money you make, if you don't understand your relationship with it, you're not going to feel successful. I have NBA players I work with, NFL players I work with, ex and current. And a lot of people don't realize they are the worst people when it comes to money, because it's the same thing like in you guys' arena. If they get injured, what's next? So they take a gamble as well. And that's all they know is padding up, strapping up every day. That's all they know. So it is important to know your relationship with money, because it will change you. It will change how you see the world and how you see yourself in it.
Yeah. Because I know I had asked him a question, it kind of threw you off. I know you touched on it a little bit. Can you touch on revenge trading and the
Wait,
behavior of
give me one
revenge
second.
trading?
He said,
Oh
how do
yeah, you
you
got a question.
understand your relationship with money? How do you understand your relationship? Are you asking that question specifically to me, Nick? How do I understand my relationship with money?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, good afternoon. Not you personally, but
Oh,
I guess what is a way for us to like, because I've heard that before, but
mhm.
I'm not like, I guess how do I understand my personal relationship with money? If that's a good question.
Okay. So let me ask you this. If you woke up tomorrow and couldn't make money, what would you do?
What do you, I don't, hmm.
Take a moment, take a moment. Think about it. If I woke up tomorrow and I could not make money, what would I do?
I would have to figure it out. I mean, like this to not be able to make money. And just as you said earlier, I mean, money is essential for living in essence, and all of us. I'd have to figure it out.
Why? Why would you need to figure it out?
Survival. I mean,
There we go. There we go.
yeah.
Survival. So 9 times out of 10, people's relationship with money is through survival.
Can I say something?
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So if you're going through survival, what does that mean? Anytime you're taking a trade or anytime you're looking that you're applying your skills to cultivate some money, you're doing it in a fear-based way of not really believing that you're gonna be able to, excuse me, achieve that, right? A
Well,
survival,
I'm gonna say it differently. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I shut up.
They, it's not they don't believe they can't do it. They know they can do it. Because the survival is that strong. Because if I don't do it, the repercussions of not doing it is greater.
So what keeps them from procrastinating? What keeps them procrastinating?
That's a different question.
I know.
That goes back to self-sabotage.
Being
Self-sabotage,
afraid of
but
the
not
success.
survivalistic. Yep.
Oh wow, so that's a compounded
Absolutely.
emotion when you're coming from a survival place. However, you're also afraid of being this successful. You hinder yourself automatically. Yeah, I see it.
And
How
some
does
people, because we understand, and one of the things I teach with a lot of some of my other clients is understanding the PTSD effects of money. which creates that victim mentality, and which then also creates that survivalistic approach. Because as the gentleman was just speaking, and as I said, we all need it. But the key question is, how much of it do we need? There's a difference between need and want. So if I need it, that means I just need to provide my necessities. But if I want it, that's outside of my necessities. So we have to understand, again, your developmental process, emotionally and mentally attached to money, which is the relationship of money, has to be band-aids taken off. I understand as a clinical psychologist that when people develop their ideation behind money, which creates their relationship with it, it's like when you meet a young lady, meet a guy, you guys try to figure out, who am I going to be to this person? Who am I going to be with this person? You're asking all these questions to yourself. So when you get that money, the first thing you're going to say, what am I going to do with this money? How am I going to use this money? But when we're trading, those questions are already non-existent. So that's when we're operating in the unconscious space of what money actually means. So that's why I say it's important to understand the relationship with money.
Wow, you're 100% right. Because when I'm in a trade, it's different now because I'm gaining the conscience of like, it's not about my stop or anything. But when I'm in a trade, it's like what you said, if you have the money, you start to think, hey, what am I gonna do with what I'm gonna do with that? I could be in a trade and let's just say I'm up 3 grand. I have the money, I can get out now. However, I would never think of that. It's just, I know this is I don't want to say it's impossible, but I've been trading for 4 years. I will never have those thoughts emerge into my mind until I get out of the trade. Now I can physically think and say, oh, snap, I made this much. Let me stop trading. Let me do this. You know what I'm saying? Because when I get out of my trade is when I'm able to look and say, okay, I completed a goal. Let me go to this account or let me do this or I'm done trading. That's what helps me stay disciplined to my rules, to be honest.
But the thing is that you're forward thinking, and what I'm hearing from quite a few people here, they're not there because they don't understand their relationship with money. They don't understand how to come out of survival mode when it comes to money.
Between me and you, Doc, can you help them come out of that space into coming into a forward thinking?
Absolutely.
All right.
That's what I tell everybody's gonna have some homework.
I'd like to interject here and ask the question.
Yes.
How do you, similar to what you guys are saying, where we need to change our mindset, how do you get out of the scarcity mindset to abundance and continuous flow?
When it comes to trading or just as an individual?
Individual and when it comes to trading, like both.
Absolutely. So the first thing is like the very first comment that was mentioned today was about fear.
Mm-hmm.
What are you afraid to lose?
So a little backstory. Growing up, I always had that immense feeling of it will be there, but then it's going to be taken away or go away. So I do understand that I have some fear coming from then, and being able to actualize it, I can manage it. However, how do I no longer have it to the point that I don't have to mentally think about, okay, I know it's not going to go away. I know that once I stick to my rules, once I stick to my routine, my processes, everything's going to flow okay. Like, I just want to get rid of that shadow fear that's like lingering.
100%. So when you're trading, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you put that dollar amount into, let's say, the pot, what do you expect that money to do?
So if I follow my processes, oh, I should say that I'm very, very new at trading. I'm just like at the very beginning. So I'm watching my candlesticks and watching the patterns. So I see where it goes, where I can enter, and then it should grow and go up a bit. However, sometimes when I do see it go downwards, I do become fearful and hesitant and a bit anxious, and I'm just like, okay, am I supposed to stay? Am I supposed to just wait? Yeah.
So what will happen if you just stay?
Sometimes it does go for the benefit, sometimes it does go up and it does benefit me, but sometimes it goes down. I'm just like, okay, I should have maybe came out a little bit earlier, but there's nothing I can do about it now. The next time would be a lot better.
See, you're falling in both patterns. You are literally afraid that you've lost all your money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you try to figure out how to get it all back.
Mm-hmm.
So when we start talking about, yes, your relationship with money is based on having. But the abundance, what is the number? You're saying, if I have this much money, then I am.
Oh, okay. I've never actually put a dollar figure to how much. I just wanted to know that I don't. Oh, the best way I've always said it is I don't want to choose between my needs and my wants. I want to know that, okay, if I need something, I can get it. If I want something, I can get it. That there's just enough for both.
Okay, that's a great place to be in, because I live my life like that. I
Mm-hmm.
have my needs and I have my spaces for what I want. But I don't allow my work life to determine that. I don't allow money to determine that for me. I allow my strategic approaches to what I am doing to determine my needs and my wants. I take the aspect of money out of it because money comes and goes.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that. But as you were stating that you have been conditioned to believe when it goes, something negative is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a deeper level than just this surface thing right here.
Oh, okay.
Reason I agree with that is because it doesn't have to deal with money. It can be a relationship. If this woman or if this man walks out on me and I feel abandoned, I feel alone, you go right back to that situation. And one thing that I can tell you, and I'm pretty sure that Doc will agree. Well, I know that she's gonna agree. She gets on my nerve. I'm sorry.
See
I
how
didn't mean
y'all
that.
treat me?
No, my bad. I ain't mean that. I ain't mean that. That just came out that way. But no, she makes me she did it on my last session. Like, what does this look like for you, Moody? And I'm just like, I'm trying to have another house over here. And then, no, Moody, like she's always getting me to be specific. So when you were talking about that dollar number, she was looking for a number. Like, what is it? $1,000,000 and 30 cents? Like she's like that. Why? Because you have to be able to visualize it. And if you can visualize it and really believe it, like me, the way I cultivate things is just if I pray for something. If I pray for something, I don't pray like asking for it. I pray like, thank you. I'm so grateful for this. Why? Because if I can think it, that means I have it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So I always come from a place of I already have this. I'm grateful for this. I'm not looking for it, but I'm gonna bump into some more of it. Why? Because it's abundant. However, you have to cultivate abundance, you have to truly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Doc, because you're the professional. You have to truly, it's not only just believing in yourself. You have to know exactly what you want to the finest freaking detail. Like that's how the universe is gonna give it to you. I cultivated my wife. I'm sorry. I said I want my wife to have a coat by the shade. I said I want her to give me a son. I want this. I know what I asked for in my wife, right? However, one thing that I also realized from going to therapy that even though you get what you ask for, you also have to give what you want because no one in this world you can't ask for something if you're not willing to do it. And then just because you get in a relationship or a relationship with money or anything of that nature, you have to be willing to show that person how you want to be treated, what you want. That's why boundaries and all that stuff are set. And you may get annoyed with somebody because they say no because they got boundaries. You got to set all that in place, right? But yeah,
I'm gonna say this one thing just to help her out a little bit. And I didn't, and I'm gonna be honest, I kind of had to hold my tongue because I didn't want to go too far into her personal life that I'm definitely hearing her scream some things out to me. But, and I think this is to be good or safe across the board. When we start looking at manifestation, the fear of disappointment behind that can be so great. So when Kelvin is saying like you what you want, you also have to give out. I'm going to add to that and saying, if money is going to do you dirty in your ideology, because it's going to go up and down, it's going to go away, it's going to come back, it's going to do this, come back, go that, da, 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 da. Are you willing to be in an unstable relationship?
No. No, I don't think I'm willing to be in a stable relationship.
So if you're unwilling to be in an unstable relationship, and I'm gonna say this across the board, why are y'all trading?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I felt that. Why? Because I don't know what I'm gonna make this month, and I don't know what I'm gonna make next month, but I'm willing to take that risk because I already know what I'm gonna make if I go into a job. The day she made me bet on myself, I promise you, I would never bet on anything else but myself. Why? Because it's the scariest thing in the freaking world. I remember asking Doc, like, Doc, how was it when you first opened your practice and this and that? Oh my God, Moody, the first year was like this. I'm breathing okay because I'm on my 4th year. I'm waiting to break the 5th year. You know what I'm saying? The 5th year is when you know, like, yo, you have sustained a success. This is working for you. You're pushing on through. Now you're about to have your snowball effect. Just keep pushing.
Okay.
But she's right.
I appreciate you, Kimberly, chiming in and asking that question. And it's a question that I think a lot of people are afraid to actually ask, but it is the reality. Because that's why I say our emotional state and mental state is very impactful when we do get into relationships, and specifically with something that we can all identify and say, like I said earlier, our relationship with money is the most complicated relationship we can have because it is unstable.
Oh, okay. That's true. Those are valid points, and I'll really reflect on what you're saying. There's the aspect of it being a very unstable relationship. I've never looked at it from that perspective. This is something really new to look on and deep dive in.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I am going to open up. I'm going to take 3 questions. Shoot, who want to go first?
Doc, after the questions, can you leave them some homework to do?
Oh, they're gonna get it. I'm gonna put it in the little chat thing.
All right, I got you.
That keeps popping up down here.
I think
Go ahead. I'm sorry, London.
Hi. I've got a question. I'm in my second year of trading. Well, I'm not actually live trading at the moment. I'm back testing, and I have been all year, humbly. But I'm still finding that I'm tripping myself up at the same point. So I related to what you were saying in terms of you can have like the knowledge, but you still get in your own way because of your own personal hiccups, so to speak, or your own personal challenges that you've got to work through. And for me, I found that I would rather lose money than be wrong. And to me, it makes no sense because if the trade is going against me, for example, I'm still going to lose the money and I'm still going to be wrong at the end of it. But it's like I can't seem to catch myself quick enough, often enough to be consistent to like protect what I've earned, if that makes any sense. So I don't know how to kind of formulate it in a question, but I really feel like today's topics and the things that you've touched on have been very like, they've hit home. So I don't know if within that there's a question, but like that's what's come to mind. That's where I'm at.
So you're saying to me is that, hey, I'm not fearful to go and to lose the money, but I don't know how to stop myself to keep the money.
I suppose I'm not fearful of losing the money because I'll be happy to lose the money, but it's like, because we're learning a skill with trading, so we're learning how to read the charts, so we can see signals. I can see, okay, this isn't really going my way, but I'm like, oh, maybe, but I can see that it's not working.
Okay, so your decision-making process.
I guess so.
Being optimistic on losing and thinking that it's going to return to make her whatever she's.
Her decision process on retaining, sidestep, perfectionist.
Yes, exactly. I would rather lose the money and be the perfectionist than to accept, oh, you've got it wrong, and cut my loss quicker and retain my profits.
Yeah, absolutely. She's screaming that part.
Thank you, Doc. I didn't see that.
That's why I'm Dr. Harmon. I keep telling you that.
So I know for me, because I'm in therapy personally, so I'm aware of like, how my personal like characteristics and stuff are playing out within my trading journey. I can see it plain as day.
So the sidestep is that what happens, what is the consequence behind
I lose the money. I lose the money. I blow the account and I'm back to where I have been. And like, so the last time I live traded with real money was in January. And then I just took a vow and said, I'm going to go back to basics and just start from the top. And now I'm finding I'm at a point where I'm confident now. I can go into the market daily and make a residual, like I can make a little money. Do you get what I mean? But can I keep that money? Can I protect that money? And that, I guess, fear has kept me paper trading for the last 9 months.
I can help you with that.
When I say you're, Moody is saying he can definitely help you with understanding
that would be good, Moody.
Process to that. So what I would say from a psychological perspective, when I think about your relationship with money, your need to be in control of what happens around you is necessary to avoid a certain consequence.
Yep.
And you have convinced yourself losing the money is not as great as
it's not, right?
Not being perfect.
Yep.
Because if I lost, that I can identify why I lost.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't identify why you won.
Not perfect, exactly. Exactly that.
You're like that client I say has on a sneaker and a stiletto. Not knowing what side of the fence to actually pick.
Exactly
because
that.
The consequence, we have to look at the reward system. Which side is more rewarding? And not to get too deep on you, but I can definitely hear your side of being a perfectionist is more rewarding than actually losing the dollar. So your relationship with money is really associated with around no value. Money holds no value.
I think so. That would make sense.
It's the acts of what you do is more valuable.
Yeah, I think that's why within like my personal career, I've tried all different types of things. And I've always found that money hasn't been the thing to hold me. I'm always like, no, there's something more to this. I'm not quite happy here.
Yes, so Moody, I don't know if you do one-on-ones with individuals to like walk them through the process. She would need a lot, and I won't say a lot more, but she would need more of that in the moment pull out.
Yeah.
In the moment, so she can develop a behavior around her trading process that she is in control.
Yeah.
I could do that. I'll offer you because I've never been on a session with you before. Just tag me in the Discord in the all access. Just tag MoodyBugz. And once I see it, I'll DM you and I'll send you over my calendar where you can go ahead and book a free 30-minute session.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Doc, I just
I
seen
want to
something.
swamp you out, but
No, you
she's a
good.
good
I just
candidate.
seen.
She's a good candidate because she doesn't operate in fear of losing, but she operates in fear of losing control.
I was
Mm.
able to just see right now exactly what you told me that you'll be able to do. I didn't see it at first. However, yeah. Because you'll help me help the individual. Whereas like sometimes I may be teaching the individual because I may just saw it wrong, and it's like you're not going through self-sabotage, or you're honestly not a self-defeated mindset. You're not that. It's just I'm utilizing different things where it's like I'm just seeing it a little bit wrong, where I can be able to communicate and help the individual a little bit better. So it'll help those one-on-one sessions. However, I am going to talk to you offline. I do want to bring you. I think that this was an amazing class, and I know how amazing it'll get, and especially with your curriculums that you have. However, I don't want to hinder them though, right? I see how you was able to help me where, hey, I'll jump on some of these classes and add on, and you can help me help a certain individual. However, I know some people aren't talking or saying certain things. So if I do bring you into this Discord, I just know that you have a heavy load. Would it be possible that maybe they'll have you in the Discord, whether it's 1 or 2 times out of the week, where they can possibly just get a personal session? Because I'm sure that a lot of people aren't going to open up about their trading or certain things just like broad in front of everybody, where they can be able to like talk to you for 30 minutes or maybe an hour and just book something with you. Is that something that we can make happen?
Absolutely, we sure
Okay.
can.
I appreciate that.
Kelvin has my information. I can do or read to help me in self-sabotage.
Yeah, I got a whole
Yes,
book on
sir.
self-sabotage.
Well, I just wrote my own personal workbook
You
that you
better
can
get that
find
book.
on Amazon
You better
on
get that book.
self-sabotaging behavior. Um, I, I can definitely give you out of one of my parts of my book, and this is just like far most. Think about how you encourage others to be successful. Like what steps you would give them if they came to you and said, "Hey, I want to go buy," and I'll keep it related to money, but I want to go buy this brand new car. And I got $100,000 and I know I deserve this car. But I know I worked hard for it. I know I saved up. I got extra monies and I can just go buy this car. But I'm fearful about doing it. After you sit down and write down how you would encourage that person to go buy that $100,000 car, I want you to take that same write down and put you in the space of how you would encourage you to go buy that $100,000 car. Does that help you, Mr. Ali, for right now?
Ali. She said Ali.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, because when we self-sabotage or get in our own way, we don't know why we do it. But what I've identified is that it is how we define ourselves. Do we deserve it? How does this change my life? Is it worth even going after it? So that's the psychological aspect of how I understand about self-sabotage, which then will be a domino effect in how you approach other situations in life.
Can
Is
you
it?
drop your book, Doc?
No, you know I'm not IT savvy.
Oh, you can send it to me. I'll post it in the Discord for you.
Okay, I will definitely post it.
Oh, she said I already found it.
Oh,
But no, yeah, send it to me and I'll post it in the Discord. And I would tell you how to grab her
okay.
book before you even try to grab mine. Where do you think I'm getting the information from?
So this is why I'm gonna put this and you guys tell me if I'm doing this right because I see the chat thing.
Somebody said, what is it called?
What is what called?
Your book on Amazon.
Oh, okay. I was opening up this thing. Oh,
Oh,
There you
somebody
go.
already
Thank you,
dropped it.
Nick. Thank you, Nick. I
That
appreciate
part.
you.
That
I'm like, wait, do I
part.
type right here? Do I type right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So do I just type in this little part where it says two and then it's put it in?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep. Well, yeah, I appreciate everybody stopping by. This is something that I definitely am going to be bringing into the Discord, for the members and things of that nature. Just to have somebody there, whether, you can always book a session with me or talk with me. However, just have somebody that's a professional in this license, right? I'm not a professional or I'm not licensed at trading, nor am I a professional nor licensed at mindset. Just because I love to teach the mindset, you know, I feel like, I am qualified to. However, as you see, I can say certain things and she's going to stop me and be like, nope, that's not what it is, Moody. And I am always the one that's going to be able to just shut the heck up and be like, I'll listen. I'll take the right information, right? Because I know that I don't know what's right. I just want to be a blessing and help the next person and just share my experience. However, your experience is not always the best experience to be sharing, right? Maybe the right information on how to enjoy the experience should be said. So that's why I also want Doc to be in her space to be able to do that, right? I look at her as Wendy. If anybody looked at seen Billions before, and I'm not the only person that could vouch for it, right? I can vouch for it. My wife can vouch for it. She's even connected me with different people of her, different clients of hers, that vouches for her and vouch for me. However, you can see it on my Instagram, people that, hey, I met Moody through our therapist and things of that nature. And I always think that is important to have, a connection where you have such a positive avenue where it's like, man, you develop a great relationship with her or any therapist, right? Because I don't want to just subject it to her. However, she's my winner for me. um you never know the connections that you'll get out of that, right? People are very genuine, and when people see successful, that's why I try to tell people, whereas don't judge successful people or wealthy people. When those people see people truly helping themselves, they pour into you. They'll connect you with things that you would never have thought of, right? So that is a myth that people hear, where it's like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's true because the poor mindset doesn't want to develop the best mindset. Now, I don't want to say that they don't want to. It's hard to get to that place of life sometimes because I've been there, right? I come from the Bronx. I can't look at people from the Bronx and be like, well, get out of that environment. It was hard for me to get out of the environment. It was hard for me to stop thinking this way. It was hard for me to stop listening to Future and Young Thug and all of this stuff. Like, it was hard for me. You know what I'm saying? So if I knew it was hard for me, I can't expect, just because I'm like, no, don't go to the club, don't do this, don't do that. I can't expect the next person to be that way. And that's being marketed to you on television, everything. You know what I'm saying? I made the active decision to say, hey, I'm not going to do that. However, I'm not going to sit here and say that I've made that decision all on my own. I made that decision with the faith of God and with me having coaches and life coaches and mentors around me to help me create wise decisions, right? You're not going to always make the wisest decision in your life, but if you keep wise company around you to console with, I can go to my therapist and ask her something about anything that's going on in my life, my wife, anything, and she is not going to be an enemy. She's going to make me look at me first and say, what did you do? What can you correct? I don't care if you're doing too much. It's all about you, and that's how you win, right? So that's why I want to bring her. I know what she's able and capable of doing. However, it has to be something that you guys truly want yourselves. I will be asking more questions in the all access. However, I feel like you guys really want her, and we're gonna make this happen, especially with her letting me know that she'll carve out some more time and she'll take on personal sessions. That's dearly to me because I know that those personal sessions is what's gonna take it out of the park for you.
I want to say I want to thank each and every one of you guys. I always say, as a clinician, it's a challenge when I can hear people really talk, and it just makes me dig into my knowledge to be able to share that. So I appreciate each and every one of you who showed up out of your time today to actually be in a space where I know is taboo and I know can be judgmental. But this just lets me know that you guys want more. And I'll say, just outside of just financial development, but just overall as an individual, knowing that you took the time today to say, hey, what can I actually learn about myself to make myself better? And that is the most enjoyable thing for me, because I know how difficult it is to come into an arena and put your emotions out there, or your thoughts out there, or your inconsistencies out there, and let somebody that you don't know chop them apart and give you some feedback. Thank each and every one of you again, and I hope to talk with you guys soon.
Awesome. Don't forget to send me your book, Doc.
I won't. I'll do it.
Awesome. I'm about to read some of these comments real quick. Dr. Harmon, really grateful for you. Grateful for you taking your time and pushing us outside of our comfort zone to own our thoughts and behaviors out loud. Profound facts. That's beautiful. That was beautiful, beautifully said, Bree. Thank you, Moody, for sharing your resources as always. Absolutely, man. Thank yourself. You're the one that made me do it. It's y'all. It ain't me. As long as y'all putting in the work, I'm gonna put in the work. I got that from her, where it's like it has nothing to do with the money for me. It's all about y'all. I'm successful already. I make money trading. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm gonna cultivate a business and things of that nature. However, if y'all want certain things, I'm gonna bring it. Right? I'm not just trying to bring a trader and this person. Man, I could bring people to be profitable. Everybody that's here is profitable. You need to learn how to manage yourself and get a better relationship with money to be able to save and, hold your money and not deplete it or give it right back to the market. And I know that I can help with that. However, I'm just one person, right? And I know that I can trust and I can put that trust in a doc. I know that if somebody reaches out to her, she's going to do her best and pour into you. So that's something that I know. And I just want to stay around that kind of individual so that this business can grow. And not only that the business will grow, the individuals that are in this community, they can grow and they can be a testimonial for the next person. So yeah, super, super dope. Copy. But thank you, Doc. I don't want to hold you too long. It's already 5:30 and I know you was only here for an hour. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's Friday. I know we all got to get back to our families. I really appreciate you. Hey, everybody in the chat, can we get y'all to unmute or tell Doc thank you for showing up?
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Much
Thank you.
appreciated.
Welcome.
Thank you. Have a great
Everyone,
weekend.
Thank you.
you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Peace,
Bye,
peace, peace.
everyone.
Peace, Moody.
Peace, 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 everybody. Thank you, Doc.
Bye.
Peace, peace,
Blessings,
everybody.
everybody.
Blessings to you as well.
Thank you.
Let me stop this recording.